Some people feel joy quietly. Their excitement lives inside their chest. It rarely reaches their face or their voice. You might be one of them. Something wonderful happens, and your first instinct is to contain it, not deny it, just hold it close. Others celebrate loudly when good news arrives. You smile small, nod once, and walk away feeling everything in private. What you're experiencing isn't shyness. There's a quiet psychology behind why your happiness stays hidden. It's older than you realize. Excitement, for you, was never neutral. Somewhere along the way, showing it taught you something painful. You learned to soften it before anyone could. Maybe you shared good news once and felt the room shift. A subtle change in someone's tone. A small, knowing glance. Maybe a parent dismissed your joy. Maybe a sibling matched it with jealousy. Maybe a friend made your moment feel smaller than it was. You didn't decide to hide your excitement consciously. Your nervous system simply remembered. It started filing joy under things that need protection. Now, as an adult, the pattern runs automatically. Good news lands inside you, and a quiet voice whispers, "Don't show too much." But there's a deeper layer most people miss. Hiding excitement isn't just about avoiding judgment. It's about preserving something sacred inside you. When you keep joy private, it stays yours, untouched by other people's reactions, unshaped by their opinions, their envy, their disappointment. You learned early that joy shared too openly can be diluted, diminished by the wrong response, bruised by someone who couldn't meet it. So you developed a private celebration system. You feel everything fully on the inside. You just don't let it spill outward easily. People who don't understand this call you reserved. They call you mysterious, hard to read, or emotionally distant. They miss the truth entirely. Inside, you are anything but distant. You're often the most emotionally rich person in the room. Your feelings are just deeply protected. This pattern has a name in psychology. It's called affective containment, a quiet skill some people develop very young. It usually forms in environments where emotions weren't safe, where joy was mocked or competition replaced celebration, where excitement felt risky to express. Imagine yourself as a child holding good news. You run to share it with someone important. Their face doesn't match your energy. Something inside you contracts in that moment. A small lesson forms quietly. Excitement is something you carry, not something you give away freely. And here's what nobody talks about. You didn't stop feeling joy. You just stopped trusting other people with it. There's a difference between suppression and protection. Suppression kills the feeling completely. Protection keeps it alive, but only for you. You're a protector, not a suppressor. Your excitement is intact and vivid inside you. The world simply doesn't get full access to it. This is why your inner world feels so full. Why you seem calm outside but vibrant inside. Why people often underestimate your depth. What makes this even harder is the loneliness it can create. You experience the highs alone. Your joy doesn't always find a witness. Sometimes you wish someone could feel it with you, but you can't quite bring yourself to share it openly. The instinct to guard is too strong. You've watched other people celebrate without hesitation. You've wondered what that feels like, to trust the room with your happiness so easily. But your relationship with excitement isn't broken. It's just been shaped by experience, by the small moments that taught you to be careful. If you've been recognizing yourself in this, drop a comment below. Tell me when you first learned to hide your joy. Just one memory, in your own words. I read every comment on these videos. Your stories shape what I write next. They remind me how many people share this quiet inner pattern. Now let's go deeper, because hiding excitement isn't just emotional. It's also strategic in ways you might not realize. People who hide their excitement often have sharp social awareness. You read rooms before you enter them. You sense the emotional temperature instantly. You know who can hold your joy and who can't. You know which moments are safe for celebration. You filter constantly, without even thinking. This is why your excitement feels selective. You're not cold, you're discerning. You give your most genuine reactions only where they're welcome. There's a strange grief inside this pattern, though. You celebrate alone more often than you'd like to admit. Your biggest moments sometimes pass quietly. A promotion happens and you smile to yourself in your car. A dream comes true and you process it in silence. The world barely notices. This is when the loneliness sneaks in, not from a lack of people, but from a lack of witnessed joy. There's a difference. But here's something important to understand about yourself. Your hidden excitement is also a form of self-respect. You honor your feelings privately. You don't need applause to validate your happiness. You don't need reactions to confirm your joy exists. It exists because you feel it. That's actually a rare emotional skill. Most people need external mirroring to fully believe their own feelings. You don't depend on that. Still, there's a cost to carrying this much alone. Joy was meant to be shared sometimes. Not always, not with everyone, but sometimes. This is the moment you stop fighting it. You stop trying to be more expressive for other people's comfort. You let your style be what it is. But you also start choosing carefully who gets to see the unfiltered you. The people who can hold your excitement without flinching or competing. These people are rare. When you find one, something inside you loosens. You let a real laugh out. You share the good news without scanning. That's the gift you're searching for, even if you haven't named it. A witness, someone who can meet your joy without diminishing it. In relationships, this pattern shows up in specific ways. Your partner might feel like you don't celebrate them enough, or yourself enough around them. They see your calm exterior and assume you're not excited. They miss the storm of feeling happening just under your skin. The mismatch can wound both of you. Learning to translate your inner excitement is part of the work. Not performing it, just translating it, letting one small piece reach the surface. A soft, "This means a lot to me." A quiet, "I've been waiting for this." Small phrases that let someone in without overwhelming you. At work, hiding excitement can cost you visibility. You complete something extraordinary and mention it briefly in passing. Others miss the magnitude entirely. Meanwhile, people with louder joy get noticed faster. Not because their work is better, because their excitement signals importance to others. This isn't fair, but it's real. Understanding it gives you a choice. You can keep your style and add small, intentional moments of visible pride. You don't have to become someone else. You just have to let your light leak out a little more often. Just enough to be seen. There's a specific reason your pattern formed, and naming it matters. You were once an open child. Excitement spilled out of you naturally. Then something happened. A series of small moments. Maybe one big one. And your system decided, this is too risky to keep doing. That decision saved you back then. It protected a tender part of you. It kept your joy from being broken by people who couldn't hold it. But the protection became automatic. Now it activates even when you're safe, even with people who would gladly celebrate you. This is where it all begins to make sense. The pattern isn't who you are. It's a strategy that outlived its original purpose. You can keep the parts that serve you, the discernment, the depth, the private richness. You don't have to abandon any of it. But you can also experiment with one new thing. Letting your face show your joy for 3 seconds longer than feels natural. Just 3. Try it the next time good news arrives. Don't perform anything. Just don't shrink it as fast as you usually do. See what happens. Some people in your life will be confused. They've adapted to your quiet style. But the right ones will lean in, smiling, glad to finally see you. Those are your people, the ones who are waiting for permission to celebrate with you. They've been there all along, watching for a small opening. Here's the truth. Almost no one tells you. Your hidden excitement is also a love language, a way of treating joy as something sacred and rare. That perspective isn't wrong. The world could use more reverence for happiness, more people who don't trade their joy for cheap reactions. But sacredness doesn't require secrecy. You can honor your joy and still let it breathe. You can protect it and still let it be witnessed. The shift is small, but everything. From hiding excitement to choosing how to share it. From automatic concealment to conscious expression. When you make that shift, something inside you settles. You stop carrying every high alone. You stop feeling invisible in your best moments. You begin to understand that you were never too much. Your original excitement, the unfiltered childhood version, was never the problem. The audience was. Now you get to choose your audience. You get to build a small circle of people who deserve your real reactions, people who can hold them. That circle might be one person. It might be 3. It doesn't have to be many. It just has to be true. And inside that circle, you get to be the version of yourself you've been hiding, the one whose eyes light up, the one who laughs from the chest. That version of you isn't gone. They've been waiting patiently inside you. They've been holding every quiet celebration for years, hoping to be invited out. Today might be the day you invite them. Not all at once, not to everyone, just a little more, with the people who've earned it. Because joy was never meant to be a burden you carry alone. It was meant to move through you and touch the people who love you. If something in this resonated, Tell me in the comments what hidden excitement you've been carrying lately, one quiet win you haven't shared. I'd love to read it. Sometimes naming it once, even to a stranger online, lets a little of that joy finally breathe. And if this video met you somewhere real, subscribe so we can keep meeting here. There's a lot more to understand about your quiet inner world. Your excitement was never too small or too strange. It was always real. It just needed the right kind of safety to come out. The people who hide their excitement aren't broken. They're protective. They're discerning. They're carrying something sacred in a world that doesn't always handle joy well. And tonight, maybe you can let one small piece of it out. A smile that lasts a moment longer. A truth said softly to someone who deserves to hear it. Because the quietest joy is still joy. And the joy you've been hiding has been waiting patiently for you to finally call it yours.